Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. And today's video is the third part in a series where I've been reviewing a number of different tools for what's called the glass bead magnetic nail polish effect. If you're unfamiliar with the glass bead effect, it's one where you are magnetizing your nail polish in a way that makes it appear as though there's like a glass bead that shifts up and down the length of the nail as opposed to side like you would typically see, say, more for the velvet effect. So far, I've done reviews of 2 other products that I'll link in the description so you can check those out. And today's video is going to be a review of the Glassify tool from3Designs. As we're getting started, I'll tell you a little bit about the overall structure of this series now that we're in part 3 of this. So for this part, I'm going to, for this video specifically, I'm going to do an in-depth review of just this particular product, all the nuances of it, showing you how it works and some takeaways that I have, things like that. And then in my, the next video in this series will be one that sums up all of this from across the 3 products to more focus on comparing them to each other, because that would be a lot to cover in just one video. So for today, we're focusing on Glassify from 3Designs. I have purchased from them before. If you've been watching videos on my channel here, whenever you see me magnetize my nails or magnetize like a swatch wheel with like that, like the stick with the magnet on it, that was one that I got from 3Designs. I love it. It's been making the process of magnetizing my nails a lot more efficient and comfortable compared to when I was just using like a regular bar magnet that would sometimes slip out of my hands. So as we're getting started with talking about Glassify from 3Designs, I've got some notes here because I want to make sure that I'm sharing all the right details about my experience with acquiring or purchasing this product. I don't know why I said acquiring, like it's kind of fancy or shady, however you want to look at it. Okay, so on September 14th, that was the day that I ordered this Glassify product on the 3Designs website, which I will link in the description as well. Now, when I placed that order, there was a note on there, I think probably like a checkbox or something that you have to agree to before your order can be placed, stating that you agree, by placing an order, you are agreeing to the estimated up to 6 weeks processing time. I was okay with that. After tax and everything, my total cost for the order was $30.41. Okay. Next thing that happened. On October 1st, I received an email from 3Designs about a production update involving the design of the base that's used for the product. They were saying that they had found a more efficient way to 3D print the bases, and they were giving the option of like, do you want to stick with the, like, I think it was, do you want to do the new design, or are you okay with either one? And knowing that either one can expedite it potentially, I responded and said, I'm cool with either one. Okay, so that was on October 1st. Then on October 21st, I received an email letting me know that my order was being shipped. And then on October 24th, the product was delivered. So that spanned from September 14th is when I ordered it, and then October 24th is when the order was delivered. Now, before I get into my usual part of shifting over to my nail desk and explaining and showing this in more depth, just before I sat down to film this intro here, I went to the SJ3Designs website just to like make sure that I had the right direct page pulled up to link in the description of this video, and just to remind myself of how the product was described on the website. Now, today is Thursday, November 6th. And as of today, as of right now, as I'm filming this, when I just checked the SJ3Designs website, I was surprised when it said that the shop is like being protected by a password. It says, and I wish I could pull it up right now, but I'm filming on my phone where it is. So, but what it says is that the shop is, in order to get into the shop, you have to enter a password that can only be found in the SJ3Designs Facebook group, because there's a very important update about, I guess, their processing that they need to share with customers to make them aware of whatever the situation is before they place an order. Now, those of you who've been watching my videos for a while now, I think you would hopefully agree when you say that I pride myself on being a very fair and balanced person. And I, without me really knowing exactly what the situation is, I mean, I've said before, I think that any maker, any shop can obviously have whatever kind of process they feel works for them for keeping their shop going and running, and it's up to them for how they do business. However, I will say, as someone who is in the position now of reviewing this product and comparing it to others, even before I sit down and like actually try this out and see how it works, it's very difficult for me to want to recommend a shopping experience to viewers, when it's the case that in order for you as a potential customer to even find out what this store shopping update is, you have to not only have a Facebook account, but you also have to be willing to join their Facebook group. That for me is, and I say this as someone who is on Facebook and is in a number of Facebook groups, but y'all, like, I'm probably in too many Facebook groups, and so like I don't want to have to join another group just to find out what the store update is, and only then have access to see what products are available for sale and so on. So I'd like to be very transparent and open about everything with you all. I know many of you have commented and said over these videos that you absolutely do trust my opinion on these things, and I thank you so much for that, and I want to make sure that I continue to hold your respect and trust for this kind of thing. So with that being said, obviously it's up to any of you if you choose to join their Facebook group and find out whatever the update might be. I just want to put that out there as a disclaimer that normally for these videos I would include a direct link to the product listing for the product that I'm reviewing, but because their shop is down and I don't know the password, all that I can do is put a link in the description to their main storefront, which is currently password protected. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to cover and to say in the opening. So now that that's been said, what I'm going to do next is shift over to my nail desk, and I'm going to give you all a more up close look at this product. And as always, I'm going to walk you through my methodology for how I'm going to go about testing this. We'll test this at a couple of different spinning speeds, get some ASMR. I don't know why I did that. Maybe that's ASMR for some of y'all. I don't know. And then after I test this out on Swatch sticks, the final part before I do my final wrap up will be, I'm gonna test this out on a couple of my fingers to see how that experience is, because as you all have seen from the other videos in this review series, there sometimes can be a difference between like when you are positioning a swatch stick over or within something versus when you are having to then figure out how you're angling your own hand. So I've been talking for a while. This intro I know is longer than they typically are, but like I said, I wanted to make sure to be really transparent and upfront with y'all. So let's have some fun. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, so let's start to take a closer look at what we've got here. First, I have to share that SJ3 Designs included this cute little 3D printed T-Rex with my order, which I just think was a really cute little, nice little trinket there. And here are the two pieces that make up the tool. This one, the top of it actually came in this cover, which you can see says remove cover before use. It's like a nice, hard 3D printed product here. I'm assuming this is 3D printed as well. And when you take out the top piece, you turn it over and you can see you've got these 4 different bar magnets that are embedded in here. So you can imagine that when this is, like, if this were going on top of your nail, it would be kind of spinning like this and therefore creating the glass bead effect. I will say it's definitely got some weight to it. You feel this in your hand. It is something that, depending on if you may have mobility issues or anything like that, I mean, obviously it's going to be up to every single person to determine what may or may not work for you. But I will say, compared to the other tool, this one that from 5D Print Factory that I reviewed previously, this one feels incredibly light, whereas this one here has some weight to it. The base, not so much, but I think because of the magnets that are in here, it just feels a little hefty. I just want to point that out. Okay, so going on to the base here, you can see that this would be where you've got these notches where this would go in. You would put your finger, you could probably, depending on the width of your fingers, you could maybe even put 2 in there at a time. And then it would go something like that. So there's nothing here that's automatically going to do it for you. You have to manually turn this yourself. Based on what I'm seeing here, even though there are, let me see, geometry, 6 sides, hexagon. Okay, yeah, so even though you've got like the 6 sides here, I wouldn't recommend like using the corner like this to try to turn it. It's going to work better to do it with the handle. Now, once this is in place here, you don't really have to worry about the weight of this so much being an issue. I just, again, I mean, like, I'm just saying, every time I lift it up, like, I feel like I'm lifting something up. So I just thought that would be something to point out. I do love the color here. If I remember correctly, there's different color options that you can choose when you purchase it on the website. I really like how there are these little, I guess, plastic beads at the bottom here that help to give a little bit of grip when you have it on a table so that it doesn't go slipping and sliding everywhere. Now, when I think about how comfortable it may or may not be for me to put my actual hand in this, like this, using these fingers, that's fine. As I mentioned in the previous review videos, I think it's where I get to my thumb that can possibly be different. And yeah, I'm tilting my thumb here, and I would not want to have to like put it down like this because I'm starting to arch up on my side here. I mean, I could do that and still place this in here, but what I'm wondering is, would it be possible for me to... Okay, yeah, so it looks like it would be possible for me to do very similar to what I do when I'm using my velvet magnet, which also is from SJ3Designs. I've mentioned before that what I often will do to make my thumb feel comfortable when I'm magnetizing it in the velvet style, I'll basically like rest the magnet on my index finger like a table, and then just hold it like that here instead of forcing my thumb to rest down on my actual table in an angle that is not going to be comfortable for it. So it's good to know that I can do a similar thing here where I can hold this up like this and then go like that. Now, important to note, if from what I'm seeing here, if you do decide to go this route and pick this up and hold it as you're magnetizing it, you will want to be cautious because there's nothing that's actually locking or like holding this top piece in place. It's going to be up to you to make sure that it doesn't accidentally like tip over or something like that. So just to keep in mind for safety. As we're looking at the top handle here, I do like that there's some texture that's going along the pole, the handle. There we go. That's a better term for this. There we go. And yeah, so that can potentially make it easier to grip for those of you who might have some, again, mobility gripping issues there. Let me see what else is on here. I mean, like I mentioned, this is wide enough potentially for multiple fingers to go in here at once. And it looks like once you are finished with your magnetizing, what you would want to do is to return this piece here back to the case. When it's like that, it no longer fits in here because the case is a little bit bigger than the space that it would fit in. I wonder if that's intended to make it less magnetic. I don't know. Like, I'm holding my velvet magnet to this and I can still feel the pull there. So I don't know. So yeah, this is, I think when it came in the box, it was like the two pieces were here like this. I want to say, I think they were individually wrapped. Everything was wrapped very, very, very nicely. Okay. I believe that is all that I want to cover in terms of the overview of this itself. So let me move this over to the side for right now. And now let's get into the methodology for how I'm going to test this. Just like the other videos, I've pre-swatched out 3 swatch sticks for using a slow speed, a mid-range speed, and a fast speed. Because part of this is I want to see what's going to be the difference when I magnetize this polish, and which is going to result in the glass bead that appears the most, I guess, the tightest, the most cohesive, and so on. And the polish that I am continuing to use for testing is ILMP's Jet Setter. I've chosen this one because it is a magnetic polish that I know to be very reactive. Not all magnetic polishes are, so I wanted to make sure that I was choosing one that I wouldn't have to fight with it to get it to magnetize. I mean, any of y'all who've worked with magnetic polishes before, you know how it can be where you're just sitting there and you're like, magnetize, come on, you can do it. So you don't have to worry about that with Jet Setter. However, when you use Jet Setter on its own, it can take about 2 or 3 coats to build up to somewhat full opacity. And because ain't nobody got time for that, I have decided to put it over black so that we can get to better opacity a lot more easily with just 1 coat here. Okay, so as it relates to how fast I'm going to try to spin these, let's see. I'm thinking that looking at how this is moving, I know that fast is going to be like that, probably. Then slow will probably be something like this. Just like that. And then mid, I think I'll settle on like that. Okay, so just to recap again, in the reverse order, slow will be mid, speed will be, and then fast will be almost like, I think the best way I can describe this is like, it's kind of like I'm flicking like I'm placing this between my fingers here and just giving it like a whoosh. So like a, oh, that went real fast. Okay. And also the reason I'm mentioning this is so that for those of you who may also, either if you already have this product or if you're thinking of buying this product but you're wanting to test it out yourself, I want to give you a sense of like the relative speeds at which I'm doing this, so that if you want to replicate the results, you'll see if there is in fact a difference between like this or like that. Ooh, okay. There's this. I also want to mention that typically when I work with magnetic nail polish and I do it on my fingers, I will generally magnetize each coat of magnetic polish for a minute. However, when I do it on my own nails, I'm not timing it. I'm just like, I'm just going for vibes here. You know, I'm going based off of what I think a minute feels like or what I'm seeing from the result that's on my nail. However, because we are doing this for science, I have pulled out my focus timer that I use for work. And what I will do is every time that I'm magnetizing a coat on one of these sticks or later on my fingers, for the purpose of consistency, I'm going to spin this up to the 1 minute mark and make it so that way we can have consistent timing as it relates to our magnetizing efforts. Okay. I think that is everything. This is like my third video doing this, and I feel like I'm getting better at remembering what to include and what not to include. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm going to move 2 of these swatch sticks to the side for mid and fast. I'm going to begin with slow. And let's see. So now, with this one, compared to some other products, there's not like a finger notch or anything that says like your finger needs to be here, unless maybe that's what this little piece in the middle is for. I don't know that, but that could be a good reference point to shoot for, to know that if you are going for midway through, then you place it on that little raised notch right there, and that lets you know midway. So what I'm going to do is place this in there once I've magnetized it. And I'm starting to wonder, like, if I were to use this myself, would I be more likely to like slide it in? Or I think I would probably like put the magnetic nail polish on my finger, then place this in here, and then put that on there, so that I'm not like, I don't know, not like something's gonna bite me if I, put that in there. But I'm just trying to figure out all the logistics here. Okay, so last thing I'll say is that for this first attempt at the slow speed, I'm going to probably do what I've done before, where I will, in editing, I will speed this up a bit, so that you're not having to sit for a full minute and just watch me spin. And then we'll take a look at that result and see where we go from there. So, jet setter, here we go. Okay. All right, so I'm placing it in here. I am placing this on top, and I'm setting my timer to a minute. Here we go. Okay, it has been a minute, and I have not peeked. So let's take a look at this together. Okay. Okay. that's not what I was expecting. That's interesting. Okay, let me get this in better focus here so y'all can see what's going on here. It's like there's these 4 different purple circles on different edges of this, and they're kind of like coming together and going apart. That is different from the hold on, let me if I have like one of the other I've tried to pull over one of the other like glass bead ones. This is from the 5D Print Factory. I just had this like just off on the side here. So this is different. Okay. This is honestly my genuine reaction here. As always, one of the things that I'm going to do is put on the DRK Magic Effect that I use to help to provide a more crisp magnetic effect for magnetic nail polish. But the way that I'm going to do this, as always, is to magnetize the other 2 swatch sticks at those speeds first, and show you all that comparison before putting on any DRK Magic Effect. And we'll see what kind of comparison we have there. And yeah, so I will be back. Okay, I am back after magnetizing each of the swatch sticks for a minute at the various speeds, and yeah, it's a little bit more lava lamp like than I was expecting, with more than just one glass bead shape that's floating there. I don't know if the DRK Magic Effect is going to maybe tighten that up and make it a little bit clearer as to what's going on here, but yeah, just want to show where we are right now. And yeah, I will be back once I've put on the Magic Effect, both Magic Effect and top coat. Also, okay, so I'm gonna magnetize each of these again for a minute with the DRK Magic Effect on it, and then I'm going to magnetize them each again for another minute with top coat on top of it. And yeah, so needless to say, I'm going to do that off camera so y'all don't have to watch me do all that, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back after applying the DRK Magic Effect for a minute and magnetizing, and then applying top coat for a minute while magnetizing. And here are the results. So you can see how, compared to where we were before, there's definitely a difference. I'm not seeing as much of that, like, you know, 4 corners thing that was throwing me off at first. This is more in alignment with what I would consider to be that glass bead magnetic effect. These results look very similar to one another. If I, however, were to choose the one that I think is giving me the most crisp glass bead and leaving the most black space around it, I think I would have to go with the fast speed for that. So this is our winner for today. Woo! And before I go on to try this out with painting my nails in this, I do want to also touch on the a couple things with the experience of using this. One being that this is pretty easy to turn. I did notice though that if you flick it based on like the top edges here, these top corners can, I don't want to call them sharp, but you might feel like you're being poked a little bit by there. That might go away if you were to put something like a rubber band around it for a better grip. So that could be an easy fix, or even like some tape around that if you wanted to. With that being said, what I ended up doing, instead of like flicking it from the top, I would kind of do more of like putting my fingers if you can see like where I've got them here from this angle, that would be where I would do it. So you still get that same good motion, but without having your fingers run up against like the corners here. Also, I broke a nail. It's okay. Not while I was doing this. This happened like yesterday or something like that, but I will survive. Okay, I also want to point out sound is something I always touch on with these videos as well. And because there can be a difference in if you are to just put like a swatch stick in here that doesn't have like the same kind of weight that you would be pressing down on it with, like a swatch stick without me like holding the base or anything is gonna sound like this. Like that, right? But then if I were to, let's say I'm magnetizing a finger and I have it in here, and I'm probably like, if I were to do this, I would like have it pressing down just slightly. Here's how that sounds. So do you hear the difference there? It's a little bit deeper. And if I were to like, I have my finger in here, but I'm not pressing it down. And so similar to like if you have a swatch stick that's in here that you're not like, the stick isn't pressing down in the center, it sounds like this. So again, not pressing down and pressing down. Just want to point that out. You know, as I was like doing this off camera and I was watching TV in the background, I always have captions on when I watch my shows, so I was able to still watch just fine. But it is a sound that comes out of here, so that is just something to be aware of. Overall, so far, I would say that the results of this they're not bad. They're not as crisp as I was hoping that it would be, but you know, I'm curious to see if there might be a difference in the magnetizing, that the result I get when I use my actual finger for it, because if I were to put it at like this angle here, and if I put the swatch stick in like that, you can see how like low that is, you know, the gap between where the swatch stick is and where the magnets are above, versus if I put an actual finger in there, you know, if I were to press it down, that's one thing, but I also could potentially like hover my finger up closer to in a more easy way. I mean, I probably could have done that with the swatch stick as well, but I think it's probably going to be easier if I wanted to do that with my actual finger in here. So as much as I love my nails and the polish that I've put on them today, I'm going to sacrifice 2 of my fingers. It makes it sound like I'm playing that Jackbox game where, you know, the trivia murder party, and then you get it wrong and it's like they cut a finger off or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to come back with some black on these 2 fingers and then a different magnetic polish, and then we're going to see how this goes when I magnetize myself. So I'll be back. Okay, I am back, and I will fully admit that I just put like black nail polish on top of what was already there because I didn't feel like removing what was underneath, because it was all gonna get removed later on anyway. So yay. Okay. The magnetic polish that I'm going to be using for testing is Coloris de Carol Wavelength, which is, oh, this is such a stunning polish. And again, it is one that is very reactive as far as being magnetic, so that was a big part of why I chose it. Now, to go back to what I was just mentioning in the previous clip about the difference between like putting a finger in here and having it like be level versus angling up, but without like actually oops I just smushed my nail almost, but without actually touching the magnet there. I'm going to do my middle finger here on the left is going to be the one that I do just flat. And then my index finger will be one that I will like slightly angle up to the point where it gets closer to the magnet, but without actually touching it. And I want to see if there's going to be a difference there. So just like always, I'm going to start with just the initial coats here. We'll do some comparisons, and then I'll also do the DRK Magic Effect and top coat to compare those and see how that goes. So let me get my timer over here. And don't worry, this will be something that I speed up so that y'all don't have to sit through this here. Okay, this finger first. I know this is a little messy right now, but normally I would clean this up, but I will later on. Okay, so I'm gonna set my timer for a minute. And okay, here we go at the fast speed. Okay, just went off camera for a second to clean up with acetone some of the excess polish there. And you can see that what we've got so far, like if I really do wiggle my finger back and forth like that, you can see the effect start to emerge. But yeah, let's see how this goes on my index finger when I do the same thing, but slightly angled up. Also, I do want to point out something I mentioned in one of my other videos is that I realized that with the 5D Print Factory tool for the glass bead effect, when you use that, there is a chance that after you paint the nails on one hand, but then need to use the product to magnetize your other hand, for that product, you might end up smudging the nails that you had just done. I don't anticipate having that same issue here with this product, just because it's a lot easier to just like use the pads of your fingers to make the rotation go. So I just wanted to point that out as another detail there. So let me go ahead and magnetize or paint the polish on this finger. Once again, I'm going to clean this up afterwards, so please don't judge me. And this is going to be angled up. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, there is definitely a difference here. So just to remind you, on the left, I put it flat. On the right, I angled it up just ever so slightly in there. And I see a difference now. Okay, this is better. This is much better. And this would probably explain why I wasn't getting the results that I was looking for when I was just having the swatch stick in there in a flat way. I'm okay. I'm about to say something. I'm going to be very nice and tactful when I say this. Like, I'm just going to say, I wish that I could go to their store's website right now to see the product directions and the product listing and to go through that again to see if there were any details that I might have missed that would be helpful for me as I am using this product. However, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I'm currently unable to because it is, I had to join a Facebook group to get a password. So I can't do that. So I'm just kind of on my own here, but I do think that angling the finger upwards is making a better difference. So I'm gonna go off camera, do the DRK Magic Effect and top coat for both of these and magnetizing each for another minute again. Just for consistency's sake, I'm going to continue to magnetize my finger on the left flat and I'm going to continue to magnetize the one on the right at a slight angle upward. So, and I'll be back once we've got some results. All right. So yeah, there is definitely a difference between the left and the right. And my verdict here is that angling my index finger on the right, angling that slightly up, like arching it towards the direction of the magnets above, absolutely helped to give a better glass bead effect. I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. I'm very impressed with how great this looks. I've got some final thoughts I'll share, so let's go ahead and get into that.
Okay, so I'm back to share my final thoughts. First, I'll start by saying that, you know, a few minutes ago when I mentioned that I wish I could go to their website to see like if there are any other instructions or best practices, tips that they listed there, that would be helpful, but I can't do that because the website isn't fully open to the public right now. I did remember that they have YouTube videos that they tend to post on the product listing pages, and I think they may even link to their YouTube channel as part of their socials in the footer of their page of their shop, even when the shop isn't fully open. So I went there, and I'll put a link to that in the description of this video as well, so that you all can click over to their YouTube channel where they do have some of these product videos with tips and other things that can be helpful for how to use the tool. I'm very glad that I figured out that angling my finger slightly upward towards the magnet without touching it was something that would help me to get a better effect. And yeah, I'm very happy with the effect of this and just how clearly that came out, how easy this was to use. It does make some sound as you're using it. I mean, no tool is going to be completely silent. I mean, I know the magnetic lab stir had just a little bit of a hum, but that'll be something we get more into in the video that I filmed, where I do a more like head-to-head comparison. For now, okay, so if I were to think about, would I recommend this product to you all to buy if you're looking to do the glass bead effect? My answer would be maybe. And I say maybe because first, you have to be okay with their standard processing time, which at the time that I placed my order was set up to 6 weeks. And up to 6 weeks can be a long time if you're, you know, feeling very excited about trying out a new nail polish technique, and you don't want to lose that excitement over like a month and a half that it can take for a tool to arrive. So if you are like really, really itching to try out the glass bead effect, I would say this is probably not going to be the one for you to purchase. Again, unless their processing times have changed, but I unfortunately don't know because I can't get into the shop right now. If you are okay with longer waiting times, and I guess again, I would say, assuming with the caveat, if they are still continuing to have longer processing times, then this is something that I would recommend. However, and I know I'm saying like however, and kind of going in a circle here, much like this goes in a circle, but I think that, I mean, like I said, while any business is able to run their shop however they would like, and you know, we often do see that indie nail polish brands tend to take some time where they may close their shop while they're processing their existing orders and making it so that you can't place new ones. And you know, that is fine. That is also something that I have kept in mind when I have like tried to decide if I want to recommend certain indie nail polish brands to people. I know, for example, sometimes like if I really want to recommend, say, like Fancy Gloss or Lurid to people, I do, but with the caveat that I know just off the top of my head that those are two shops that tend to have periods where they are closed. So I say to people like, yes, I do recommend this product, from these makers, but you have to be okay with the fact that perhaps their shop is closed right now and the next ordering window won't be for like another 2 weeks or something like that. So that's just something to keep in mind. And I think that is a factor that you all will have to consider, at least for the time being, if you are looking to purchase from SJ3 Designs. Like I said, I own a magnetic, like a bar magnet from them that I use in every single video that I have done where I have magnetized something. I own not just one, but 2 velvet magnets that were made by them. So I really do love their products, and most likely in the future, if their shop becomes return to the state where you don't have to join a Facebook group to get a password, I most likely will order from them again. I don't want this to come across as me being like, oh, I don't agree with the way they're running their shop, so I'm not going to recommend them. I've bought 3 of their products before. This is the 4th one. I do recommend the excellent quality of the product, but just know that I want to be as transparent as possible when it comes to like telling you what to expect if you were to go and want to buy this product right now. Okay, I think that is everything for now. Yeah, so I've got a few other videos that I will be filming and posting before I get to the head-to-head battle, so be on the lookout for those. But also, if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on that head-to-head glass bead comparison video when I do post it, please make sure that you have subscribed to my channel so that you don't miss out on that. I think I just said that. I'm being a little redundant right now. As always, thank you all so much for being here as part of my channel, and the love that you all have been sharing and the community that you are forming. I do want to say in all sincerity, I think that, you know, the world today in many ways, it can be a very bizarre, scary, hostile place in many ways. And so I think that's a big part of the reason why I want to do whatever I can to put some positivity out into the world and to be that kind of beacon of light. And so I appreciate sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, all of you who have, through your likes and subscribes and comments, and even the person who responded to one of my Reddit comments yesterday and was like, hi, I've been binge watching your videos, hi. You know, things like that, that I think it really often does come down to like these types of more positive interactions that I feel can be a little bit of the light that we are all seeking at this time when there's so much darkness in the world. So with that being said, thank you all again so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.